Hello, welcome to episode 57 of the Zeens and Roger Crochet Vlogcast. I am Rosina. Hello, how are you? You alright? It's been a very long time. Perhaps my longest break, but it's the school holidays. I forgot to mention it on the last episode that I probably wouldn't be able to record quite so frequently, but I'm pretty sure that most of you would have had an inkling that that's what I was up to anyway. It is, I think, week 3, maybe week 4 of the summer holidays, and so crochet's thin on the ground, but I'm sort of trying to do it as and when I can. Got a little bit on the go. I do hope you're okay. I hope you're not cross with me for disappearing for quite such a long time. We were on proper holiday last week, full 7 days in a holiday cottage in Somerset. That was very nice, went with my mum. Enjoyed that, and then the week before was sort of day trips and stuff, and this week it's rained pretty much every day and been grotty as anything. The youngest is back soon, he's gone to iBounce to go on a trampolining session, and the other one's downstairs. The older one's playing computer games downstairs. Probably enjoying that quite a lot too. What have I been up to? I took maybe 6 whips with me on holiday. Oh, I've forgotten one. I've left one downstairs. I worked on 3. One of which I frogged back all the work that I'd made because I didn't follow the pattern. I just assumed it was following on from what I'd already been doing, and it wasn't. I did a load of granny squares, which I've left downstairs. I'll go and get them in a sec. And I did some more of that ripple scarf, which I'll show you in a sec. But before I do whips and bows, let me tell you some news and stuff about patterns and pattern releases and all the stuff that sort of for a good few months I've been going, I've been doing commissions and I can't show you anything. We're starting to move away from that annoyingness to actually I can show you. So that's quite exciting. So if I put down that and say first things first, it's this one, which is the granny cowl, made to look like a triangle shawl, but actually it's not. It's a cowl with a linen stitch border. This is the second one I've made. The first one is this one, which is made using Folkestone Harbour yarns, minis and 1 full skein of the main colour, using naturally dyed ingredients and things, natural dyes and nice proper woolly wool and stuff like that, which was on the front cover of issue 103 Molly Makes 6 months ago. The 6 month contract is up, so I can release it as a pattern, which I have done. It's on Ravelry, and I haven't put it on is it Love Crafts now, isn't it? Not Love Crochet. Love Crafts. I will put it on there, and I'll put it on Etsy. I just haven't got around to it yet, but I'll do that. I made this in a, they're both double knit. It's a double knit project. But yeah. I put this on and usually I don't take it off. It's one of those things, I mean, it just sits there so perfectly. No unravelling of shawls or anything like that. Just bang it on and go. But I would like to do another one in sort of slightly more muted tones, because I've seen some on Insta which look beautiful. All the natural colours suit that really well, so I would like to do one of those at some point maybe before autumn, maybe before it gets cold, although I do feel autumn in the air. There is a 20% discount on Ravelry until the end of August. And it's only, I only put it up as £3.60 anyway, so it's a bargain. So that's the first pattern release, and one more, two more. I'll put a photograph of one in the show notes because I haven't seen the magazine it's in, but it's a crochet along, it's a Cowl, and I think it's going to be in at least 5 issues of Your Crochet and Knitting magazine. But I still haven't received a copy of the first issue, and the second issue is due out soon. It's for a baby blanket, a square baby blanket, and it's blocks with different designs for each block. I'll put, like I said, I'll put a photograph in the show notes. But I don't know if issue 1 has been and gone and issue 2 is in the shops yet. I've been to several shops and not seen the magazine in them, so I don't know what size of shop is going to be selling it or what. I don't know if you can see that, but it's 9 squares and they're all different, and in each issue it'll tell you how to do 2 of them plus how to put it all together and do the border and stuff. Don't know when I made that, maybe early spring? I still haven't finished typing up the patterns yet. I said I'd do it all in advance and I didn't. I've typed up 6 so far, I've got 3 to go and the border to type up. They'll be in later issues anyway, so I've got time. It's easier to do it in increments rather than one fell kind of like. It would take me all day to write 10 separate bits of the pattern, so it's quite nice doing it in dribs and drabs, but it does mean that I have to trust my notes, and what I write isn't always what I've done. We'll see. It'll be alright. And then this is the latest issue of Crochet Now magazine. It is issue 45, and I've done a blanket, which is that one, and it looks something like that. I know it just looks like a stripy blanket, but the stripes are a different stitch to the main body, so it is a bit more interesting than it looks. And like not all the stripes go all the way across because that would be boring. So it's 2 different stitches, lots of different colours. Yeah, it's kind of like a sort of a smallish single bed blanket, I suppose. I made that I think in May, sometime in May. I seem to recall. Got memories connected to that one and they were May memories, so yes. And I probably, that was one of the projects definitely that I was going on about in the previous podcast. So yeah, so that's 3 patterns released, and the ones that are in magazines I do aim to release at a later date when the contract expires, but each magazine company, each publishing house or whatever they're called, has a different contract. So if it's Molly Makes or Simply Crochet, then it's usually 6 months. I think it's 4 months for Crochet Now, possibly only 3 months for Inside Crochet. So whenever I release it is dependent on that and dependent on what else I'm up to and stuff like that. So eventually the ones that are in magazines will hopefully be released on Ravelry and whatnot. What else? This is the latest issue of Inside Crochet magazine. It is issue 116. I don't have any designs in it, but there is a little hook feature, a Kirk and Roger hook feature, which is quite exciting. And there's 10% off at the minute until the 24th of August in the Etsy shop. So if you wanted to buy a hook, we've got this many left. If you want to buy a hook, then there's 10% off until the 24th of August. And we do have some small ones, so the small ones are always the ones to go first, and there's still a couple left. Beep, beep, beep. They've all got their labels on, so I know which one's which. So yeah, there's a few to choose from. Go and have a look. Yesterday was Granny Square Day. And so I made some granny squares. I made them on holiday when we went to Somerset. Maybe one in the morning and one at night time or something like that. Gin and tonic, or maybe a cup of tea if it's in the morning, to one side. And then I just grab a few colours and make a square. There's only 12 of them. I could make more and either make a blanket or a bag. I haven't decided. It's the sort of thing that will get put in a cupboard, forgotten about, and I'll not make anything with it at all. It's that I made them in cotton, and I don't normally like working in cotton, but I think probably the majority, bar one or two, it's all non-mercerised, and it's the non-mercerised I don't like. Personal preference, that's all. And then it's all double knit as well, but different brands, and I just put whatever together. It didn't really matter. They're all pretty much like for like, although my favourites were the paint box cotton, and then Sirdar. I can't remember what it's called, but it's sort of like a really sort of vintagey kind of branding at the minute. And there was a shop we went to in Minehead, a craft shop that sold all loads of different sorts of crafts, and they had a tiny little wool section, and then they had this display of the teeniest tiny 20-gram balls of cotton, and that was so pretty, and all the colours of the rainbow, and they just looked lovely, and so I bought some. They were 99p each, which I thought was alright, and I just wanted some extra colours because I'd taken some with me, but then I wanted to add to them. But then when I got them back to the holiday cottage, of course I'd gone and bought shades that were pretty much, so I've got hair on my camera, they were pretty much the same as I'd already got. Obviously I'm drawn to the same colours, but I thought they were sort of like complementing shades rather than duplicate. Bit annoying, but never mind, I'll use them in something. I did, I think, 4 different designs. Some arguably not granny at all. Just because it's crochet and it's a square, why is it a granny? It's not. Just isn't. For example, this solid granny, well, you could call it, you could say, yeah, it's solid granny, that's its name. Which, yeah, it is. But traditionally, a granny is the 3 clusters of trebles, or DCs if you're from the US. This is a granny square. So how can this be a granny square too when it's a different stitch format? It's not the same, is it? Crochet solid square, granny square. So I could have started a debate about that on Instagram yesterday, but I did it in a cheeky way. So anyway, I made a few classic grannies, and then I did a couple of the solid ones, which are my least favourite. Don't like a solid granny. I wonder why. I should experiment with that, explore it and ask myself what's so wrong with it. The answer is nothing. My other ones, let me just sort them out into categories. I did this one, which I think is an Attic 24 design, so it's got a circle in the centre, but then you've got your granny clusters around the outside. I like that one, I like it a lot. It's a good twist on the granny. Makes it a bit more interesting, arguably, without drawing attention away from its simplicity. Do like those greens. So I did a couple of those, and then Simply Crochet magazine had a chart on their Instagram page, so I followed that for another twist on a granny, and I didn't bother putting these ones on Insta because I just didn't think they were my favourite. There's something about them I didn't like. I don't like this outside peachy colour, apricot colour for start. That's Katona. Yeah, I wasn't keen on that. But I did it in a couple of different colours. So yeah, I quite like it. You've got the clusters and just it's like a mix. It's like a cross between a solid and a classic. So yeah. And then my favourite is this one. The clusters are in there, but just jazzed up a bit. So I've done those. Definitely it's my favourite. Made it up from photographs I'd seen of other people's designs on the internet. So there isn't a written pattern for this that I found. I just saw a couple of different blankets which had similar qualities, and then I just sort of went off on my own path, I suppose. So I've got myself a stack of grannies. That would be like a baby blanket size blanket if I just stitched all those together, which I could. I could do, oh yeah, the lacy join or something like that. I've never done one of those before. I could do that. It's my niece's birthday on Sunday, so I've missed a post if I'm going to make it anytime soon. So maybe she should get a belated little baby blanket for a dolly. I might do that. So, did that. Another finished object is this. It's not the Panda. The Panda's from IKEA. But he fits in this giant, absolute giant bag from Wool and the Gang. So I was working on this last time, and I really like this shape of market bag, where it's basically a rectangle and then you do some shaping to create this for the handles. I really like it, but it's flipping enormous. I took it to the supermarket with me, but you can only put a few things in it before it really stretches, and the handle is I would make this bigger. If I were to make this bag again, I would make this handle bigger, so because at the moment it's only just sort of, it's a bit awkward trying to get it on your arm. My arm's quite skinny as well, so if you've got bigger arms, then that's going to be a real struggle to get on. So if you were going to make it, those handles need to be a bit longer. I went down half a hook size to make the main body, and it's still massive, so I might, if I were to make it again, just sort of reduce the width of the bag and then not do as many repeats, and then try and sort of do some jiggery pokery to make a smaller version. But as it is, I think I do really like the style, but I just would like a smaller version. Great, I think probably it'd be better for lighter things, so a beach bag, so you just put a couple of towels in and your swimmers, not 15 tins of beans, because you'll be dragging it along the floor. That's all. It's called the Everyday Bag, and Wool and the Gang sent it to me as a kit to try, and I talked about it last episode. I think I just started, I can't remember where I was with it. I finished it quite a while ago, I don't know. What else was I going to say about it? I do like their kits, and I like the fact that they're using and exploring new materials that are environmentally sound, or environmentally sounder than acrylics, or they'll be more sustainable than other materials. I don't know. So this is hemp and cotton. I think it's 55% cotton, 45% hemp, and I believe that hemp is one of the better yarns that you can use, in that it doesn't use as much water to grow it, and you're not using, like, acrylic's really bad for the environment because it's essentially plastic. So yeah, I'm trying to avoid acrylic more these days, apart from the fact that it lasts a very long time. I've got blankets that are years and years and years old, and every time you wash them they kind of fluff back up again, and they'll continue to be used for years. So in that respect they're long lasting, which is good. But I don't see this going anywhere either. Very durable as far as I'm concerned. Those are the finished objects, or semi-finished objects. I'm still working on my scarf. Or I better put my tea, a full cup of tea, on my bed, which is stupid because, well, if I spill it, that's it. I'm sleeping in a wet patch tonight. So here we go. I've done all of this so far. It's not too bad, is it? But when you put it on, it's like that. So just coming to here and here, and I'd like that to be a little bit longer. But I'm running out of wool, running out of yarn, so it's not going to be Doctor Who length. I'm running out, and I'm sort of getting a bit desperate with my substitutions. So things that I'd originally rejected as not quite the right colour, or I don't know, things like that. I wanted all pinks, but this one is, whereas this is an Aran weight Blueface Leicester, this is a merino and acrylic mild cotton and merino, yeah, cotton and merino mild affair. Oh, I think somebody's back. I might have to go. So yeah, but I'm keeping going with it, apart from the fact that, yeah, all my balls are like this now, and I'm not going to be able to complete my sort of, I don't know if it's, oh, what's that fella called? Is it the Fibonacci sequence? Something like that, where it's all like, people say, oh yeah, totally random with my colour work and my stripes. It's nonsense. The most visually pleasing ones are mathematically balanced, so you would have, so I could argue that these were random stripes, but they're not. It goes 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 7. That's what I've been up to. But it looks at a glance like it's completely random. No. And you could argue as well with the colour balance as well, that I've tried to spread those out too. When I genuinely, whenever I've tried to do completely random, it doesn't work. And so I never believe people when they say that theirs is, because it would be a really good coincidence if things turned out to be that stunning whenever they go, look at this random thing. Psh. So cynical. So yeah, whenever I say random, there's a random element to it, but for the most part I will kind of rejig things to make them fit better. I love working on this, and I want to do a tutorial for it because actually it's dead straightforward. But when? I don't know, because my other news, going off on a tangent somewhat, is that I'm applying for jobs. I need to find a job because being a full-time crochet designer does not pay. It gives you a little bit of spending money. It makes you feel less guilty about spending money on wool because if you've got money coming in from a pattern, then you feel that it's justified that you can put the money back out there on the crafty side of things. But anything extra, it's just not doable. I could like put my fingers in lots of different pies. I could become a tech editor or something like that, but I hate tech editing with a passion. I'm not very good at it either, just not. So, and also I doubt it pays like, well, I know how much tech editors charge, but I also know how much work goes into it, and that's a lot. So I think all my ditherings and faffings would mean that I'd lose out on money probably, because I'm so slow. Sorry, too many ums today, too many ums. Yes, I am applying for jobs. Trouble is, there aren't many part-time jobs. And it needs to be part-time because of the children. But I've applied for full-time jobs. I've got one interview, I've got my first interview. I've applied for like 15 jobs so far, 2 more this morning as well. And even the ones that I probably would have been qualified to do 10 years ago. That's the last time I had a real job. I'm not even getting a look in because I've been off for 10 years. It's soul destroying some days. But I was picked up off the floor with a little confidence boost because I've got an interview in a couple of weeks. So I'll let you know. I'm treating it as practice, not as a please let me get this job, because I'm just not going to get it. There'll be somebody out there who's better than me, and but it's good experience, and it will hopefully, I'll learn some stuff from it. I'll treat it as a learning experience, like lots of things in life. This will be finished soon though, and then hopefully I'll find some time to do a tutorial. Beep, beep, beep. I might work on that tonight actually. Or the other thing I want to work on, and I'm dead keen on it, and I started it yesterday but have ballsed it up, is a garment, because I said, didn't I? And I've repeatedly said, I want to make more garments, I want to make more clothes, I want to make other patterns by other designers. So I'm making the Star Cluster Tee by Yippee Yarn Yay. That's who they are on Instagram. And it's a beautiful top, but there's a sort of story behind it. I'm just going to make sure I've got Yippee Yarn, yes I have. Charlene from Yippee Yarn Yay. And it's a t-shirt. I just got a text message. Oh god, they're going to be late with my boy. Exeter's crazy because of all the rain. Right. I liked that picture on Instagram, right? This is the story. I just double tapped, that's all I did, because I liked it, it was really nice. And then Charlene sent me a message. She may have sent messages to lots of people, I don't know. But she said, would you like to have a copy of the pattern if you want to make it? And I went, yeah, right then, I'd love it. If I'm going to make it, I would love the pattern, but don't give me the pattern. Let me just think about it for a minute and work out logistics. I don't want the pattern if I'm not going to promise to make it straight away, which I think is fair dues, because otherwise there's no point in her giving it to me. And I did something really cheeky, and I've never done this before. Whenever I've had yarn support, it's been offered to me. I have never gone out looking for it or asked any yarn company for free stuff. It's always just been offered and I've gone, yes please. So I kind of felt a little bit dirty because I approached Hobby Yarn, Hobbii. I think they're a Danish yarn company, but it's the yarn company where Charlene got her yarn support from to design the t-shirt. And I thought, if I was going to make the t-shirt, why not make it in the yarn that she used it in? Because I don't have yarn quantities of anything at all in stash. And I've got no money to buy sweater quantities, sorry. No money to buy sweater quantities of yarn right now. And so yeah, I sent Hobby an email and went, can I have some wool please? It's so cheeky. But they said yes. So, and also, they were so nice about it, because they could have easily been snotty and gone, no, don't be, how dare you, that's so rude. But they didn't. They've been really, really nice. And they sent me a mug when they sent me the yarn. And the yarn arrived within days. I've got another yarn company. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. They offered me something. But it's been 2 weeks and I haven't had that yet. But with Hobby, I asked for the yarn. They said yes. And then the next day I got this email to say that they dispatched it. I mean, that's top-notch service. And yes, they've given me the yarn for free. But no, I wouldn't say nice things like that if I was not impressed. They impressed me. And I've used Hobby yarn before, which is why I sort of felt like I could be a bit cheeky, because I've sort of chatted to the people that worked there before, so I kind of know them, which made me feel a bit braver. But I just, yeah, I got the email. It was a really nice, friendly email. It wasn't sort of like businessy at all. It was all nice and chatty, and I really liked it. Yeah, your order has now been packed by our awesome warehouse staff. The package is now eagerly awaiting our darling mailman to come to pick it up. That's the kind of thing that made me go, oh, that's real nice. So yeah, I have got 9 balls. I don't have the label upstairs. I've got 9 balls of this though, which is, I don't even know, I can't even remember if it's a double knit or a 4-ply or what. It's not a good start, is it? But it's called Mayflower 2 and it's a cotton acrylic blend. And I think it was about £3.90 a ball for 50 grams, which is about right, about average. If I can Google it and find out for you. I think the pattern might only take 7 balls, but the large size takes 9, and I wanted to extend it and make it longer, so I thought I'd better ask for the quantities for the large size, just in case the small size wasn't going to be enough to make it longer. Oh, it's on offer at the minute, £2.35, that's nuts. I'm making an Admiral Blue, which is essentially navy. Ugh, look at my hideous hair. 50/50 cotton acrylic. It is 135 metres and 148 yards per 50 gram ball. Yarn weight, it says fine. I don't know what that means. Fine. It's sort of like a sport weight, I suppose. Looking at it, it looks like a sport weight. But it's called Cotton 2. Mayflower Cotton 2. I've gone down half a hook size to what the pattern says because I did a gauge swatch and my gauge was off, so I've gone down half a hook size. I've done this much and it's wrong. I've done it wrong because I didn't read the pattern. Because why would I read the instructions, eh? I'm going to start again. Luckily I haven't done too much, but isn't that pretty? I did this yesterday, a soft play thing with the kids. Chatting to my mate. She was knitting up a shawl, a poncho thing, and I was doing this. So it's quite nice to sit and chat. Something in that too. So I will frog this, but I kept it to show you. I've done so much of my top. I'm getting in a tangle, but I started again. So I've done my starting chain. I'm just doing my stitches into it. I like to work in the bottom bumps when I start. What do you do? Do you work in the bottom bumps? It's my favourite. It makes it look so much neater than working into one loop only. You know the back bump? not the bottom, does it say bottom bump? The back bump of the chain. I like working into that. I think it's always nicer. It's a little bit more fiddly, I suppose, but worth it in the long run. I prefer, it looks nicer as well. Does it look nicer than a foundationless chain? Just different, I suppose. A foundationless chain is also quite neat, isn't it, if you get the rhythm right. For things like that, I like to do it all in one go because I think it helps with tension, and rather than picky uppy, putty downy. And I say that knowing that I'm going to put this down in a minute. Sheesh. Right. I think I have covered all the things I wanted to cover. I think. Yeah. What have you been up to? What are you making? Making anything good? Have you got any garment recommendations? I think I've got a few things that I want to make. I should finish this one first. I probably could make something by using up all my stash, so it would have to be a higgledy-piggledy kind of jumper or cardi or something. I don't know, I think I've got a list somewhere. Oh, and I still need to design at least one jumper myself. I've got 2 ideas. I do have, I started one and then gave up. So I might have to, I've been meaning to start that again, but it's just so chaotic at the minute that I haven't found the time, and there's no impetus there, no drive to start it, because what I did start was a bit bleh. So I'm going to redo it from scratch, try a different technique. So I am. Okay, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'll see you again next time. Maybe it'll be 2 weeks. I don't know what my plans are. Am I here in 2 weeks? It might well be. Calendar, where are you? I would have had my job interview. I'll make sure you know all about it. It's like the worst thing in the world, isn't it, going to a job interview? I shall be upbeat and I'll just treat it as a friendly chat. That's what I'll do. I used to work in human resources. I used to be on interview panels. You'd think I would be alright. Anyway. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been too long. I'll see you again next time. Thank you very much. Cheerio. Bye.